Welcome to The Explainer. You know, the race for artificial intelligence is absolutely on, and all the talk seems to be about IQ and EQ. How fast can it think? How well can it fake being human? But today, we're going to ask a totally different question. What if our most important intelligence is the one AI can't even touch? Let's dive into what might be our most critical asset in this new world.
Right now, the whole conversation around AI seems to assume that our value, our relevance, is tied up in our ability to think and feel. But the sources we're looking at today make a really powerful point. What if we're judging ourselves by a standard that technology is literally built to beat? That's a game we're basically setting ourselves up to lose.
And this slide, well, it lays it out perfectly. Look at this. AI's cognitive power is just skyrocketing, and its ability to simulate emotion is getting scarily good really fast. So if we only focus on IQ and EQ, we're playing on their home turf. It's time to pivot to an intelligence that is uniquely, fundamentally human.
So, this brings us to a really crucial shift in how we think about this. We need to move away from what can be copied and turn towards a higher order intelligence, spiritual intelligence, or SQ. This, right here, is where our real advantage lies.
Okay, so it's really important we get what SQ is and what it isn't. This has nothing to do with religion. We're talking about that deep internal capacity for purpose, for meaning, for values. It's that inner compass that answers the big question, why? While AI is getting amazing at the how and the what, SQ is the very source of our why.
So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, SQ is the engine behind what we call purposeful leadership, and it's built on these 5 pillars. It all starts with authenticity, just showing up as your real self. That allows you to connect with a clear purpose, your why. And from there, you can really own your unique role and what you bring to the table. This leads pretty naturally to service, that drive to help and elevate others. And holding it all together, your values. That's the integrity that guides you, especially when things get messy.
Now, if SQ is so human, your first thought might be, okay, we need to protect this from technology, right? Build a wall around it. But here's where it gets really interesting. The sources we're looking at argue for almost the opposite, that there's a surprisingly powerful partnership possible between our SQ and AI.
Think of it this way. Our spiritual intelligence can act as the ethical rudder for AI. It's our job to infuse these systems with timeless values like compassion and fairness. That's how we steer AI towards serving humanity, not just the bottom line. Our SQ demands the humility to say, hang on, a human needs to be in the loop here, acting as a crucial brake against runaway tech. And here's the cool part. It's a two-way street. AI can actually be a powerful tool for our own inner work. It can power those personalized wellness apps that give you the exact meditation you need right when you need it. It can translate ancient wisdom texts, making them accessible to everyone. It can even use data from your watch to give you objective feedback on your mindfulness practice. It's like a mirror, showing you your own patterns.
But of course, it's not all that simple. This integration isn't a walk in the park. If we want to build a credible path forward, we have to face the potential downsides head-on. And believe me, there are some serious risks to think about.
This quote nails one of the biggest dangers, what's called cognitive debt. And you've probably felt this. If you rely on GPS for everything, your own sense of direction starts to fade, right? Well, it's the same idea. If we outsource all our core thinking to algorithms, our own ability for deep, reflective thought can get weaker. We're building up a debt that chips away at our own judgment. And that's why we have to be absolutely clear about this distinction. It is non-negotiable. AI is a master of simulation. It remixes data, it spots patterns, but it is not conscious. It can't feel awe or love or heartbreak. It can't wonder about its own existence. Our SQ comes from lived experience, from tough moral choices, from flashes of intuition. AI follows rules. Humanity has to navigate all the messy gray areas in between.
And beyond that cognitive debt, there are other huge risks. We could lose trust in our own intuition if we're always asking AI for the answer. We have to talk about the massive privacy issues when these spiritual growth apps are built on our most personal, intimate data. And maybe the biggest risk of all, we could end up diluting real human experience, replacing genuine connection with a recommendation algorithm.
So, keeping all those risks in mind, how do we actually bring this synergy to life responsibly? Let's get practical and look at the real world, especially in leadership and the workplace, where AI is showing up every single day. As AI starts handling more and more of the routine stuff, our human, SQ-driven skills become irreplaceable. They're especially critical in 4 key areas. First, inspiring leadership, connecting the day-to-day grind to a bigger purpose. Second, meaningful connections,
building the kind of trust and teamwork that AI just can't fake. Third, meaningful innovation, which we'll get to in a second. And finally, grounded EQ, the self-awareness that is the foundation of real emotional intelligence.
So, about that meaningful innovation, an IQ-only approach is always just looking for the next small improvement, a little faster, a little cheaper. But a high SQ approach motivates people to solve bigger, more important problems. It drives innovation that's aimed at helping people flourish, not just optimizing for the sake of optimizing.
And really, it all comes down to this crucial difference. SQ provides that internal moral compass that completely changes the question we're asking. An IQ-driven world just asks, can we do this? It's all about capability. But a world guided by SQ asks a much, much more important question. Should we do this? And that is a question of purpose.
So we'll leave you with this thought to chew on. As algorithms increasingly handle the how and the what of your job, it's cultivating your own spiritual intelligence that's going to ensure technology remains our tool and not the other way around. It's what empowers you to ask the bigger questions and make sure that the work you do is work that truly matters.